my branch line in at a 1/2 inch here, you're gonna be like, yeah, I need to fix it. I need to go back in and raise it up. And this is where it's gonna cause you guys heartache, is because you're gonna be like, okay, now I have to go back, I have to switch it. That's why I give you kind of the 2 weeks to do it. But if you catch that stuff early, this assignment you're just gonna fly by. Okay, so I just caught it. So I noticed that, okay, I'm gonna have a hot water line that's also feeding that sink, and it needs to be at the same elevation as my cold water line, so I can hang them on the same rack to avoid cost. Okay, and sometimes even though these are on 2 lines, they might not use a unistrut, because technically 2 pipes still take 2 holes in the deck, either for a trapeze, which is a unistrut, right, or 2 clevis hangers, and then they're just gonna figure out what they have more of at that point on how they're gonna hang it. So technically those don't have to be at the same elevation, but for this assignment they are. So in here, ooh, did I crash? Nope. Ooh, okay, so in here, if I caught myself, I'm actually just gonna delete this. Okay, and that one's gonna be fine. Okay, here's another kind of a tip that you can do, is if you catch yourself like that, you can delete. You'll notice how I deleted my T and I deleted my transition. Okay, and it was like, okay, now I'm starting over from scratch. I need to get this pipe at 12'6", keep that pipe at 12 foot. I need to attach them together somehow. Okay, and the way you can do that is you can just, like I showed, I deleted my T and my fitting, so now there's 2 separate entities, right? All I'm going to do is I'm going to click my pipe on the left. I'm going to change it to 12'6", hit enter, and then it's literally just dragging it into the other pipe, and it will create everything for me. But you'll notice, oof. Okay, this is what I was a little nervous of. Okay, so I'm going to do this in 3D. So Revit is not perfect, and this is why. That's what it created when I told it to do that command, is it did a 45 down and then into a side. So sometimes dragging in your pipe, Revit, you could do this 50 different times, dragging it in, and 49 times it would do it one way, and then 1 time it would do it another way. It's just how Revit works. I don't know why, it just does. So what I would do here is I would just check and say, okay, what's going on here? Why did it do this? And there's a couple ways you can fix it. I would just start off, and to do what I just did here, you guys might be confused. That little 3D view, I just selected what I wanted to see, and there's this button that they added, I believe it was in 2019 or 2018. There's a little section box thing up here next to the red X. If you click on that, it will create a new 3D view of just what you've selected. So if you wanted to quickly look at something really quick, I use this feature all the time at work to kind of get a better understanding of what I'm doing. And you'll see, like, I've got plenty of room to come up off the top and over for a 1/2 inch line. So I'm going to delete them. Okay, I'm going to delete what I don't want. For example, I don't want that. And in here, what you can do is, I still have my T, but it's coming off the side of the pipe, right? I show it coming off the side, and I need it to match up with this elevation. You'll notice that there's a little rotate button. That's kind of these two. There are 2 different spots. One rotates it to the right, one rotates it to the left. If I click on one of those, it rotates my T up. Okay, so now I don't have to redraw my T to go up. I just hit rotate, and it flings it right up. You can do this in a section view. You can even do this in a floor plan view, but a floor plan it's kind of hard to tell which way it rotated. And then from here, I can just draw my pipe up, right? So I come in here, I draw or select my pipe. I change it to, let's say, a 1/2 inch. This is where sections are going to be a little bit better for you guys, because you can just draw it straight up. If you want to do it in 3D view, it's the same process. You right click on it, draw pipe, and you'll notice I can't drag up in here, okay? But I can change my elevation. So if I change my elevation to 12'6", this is why I was showing you guys you have to come off the screen and come back on. If I come off the screen, now it's drawing my pipe vertically, okay? And then I just come back in and hit apply, and it puts in that piece of pipe how I wanted it to go the first time, right? Now I can just trim these 2 together, TR, and you'll notice it puts it in the way I want to. Now this transition piece isn't really going to be that long in real world. It's probably like, it really sits inside the T, but we don't have a reducing T as like a family, so it's gonna go T reducer and then your pipe. And if you guys have issues with this, with other sizes, like if I were to try to change this to, let's say, a 1.25 inch, sometimes, and if this happens, yeah, this shouldn't. So if it were to cause you an error and tell you can't put it in, just let me know. Any errors you get over the next 2 weeks, just shoot me a message and say, hey, what's going on here? Because Revit is very finicky, where it doesn't like to do what you tell it to do. It happens all the time. But now on a top view, this is what that would look like. So a lot of the times you can just drag it straight in and it will do this for you. But if it doesn't, you got to kind of go mix it. So if I were to just drag this over and try it again, it does it again. I can't explain why it does it. I just know it does it. So, and then you delete that pipe and drag it in. So now I've caught myself with this over the top, right? And I've kept my 2 elevations like this. What do I do elevation wise? Very similar, okay? Very similar, and then I'm going to drag it over. But I want to change my elevation, right? Because I'm going to have a couple other pipes coming over there with it. I'm going to have the hot water line, so I'm going to want to change my elevation. So create similar, change it to 12, or create similar. Topped up your 3D section like I just did. Notice it was coming down. We've got to feed our toilet line. But I'm going to have another line in my floor plan. Feed over, so copy. What it would look like is how to put. I would not recommend this, and I wouldn't tell you to do it. I mean, or I wouldn't recommend you to do this. I'm not saying you can't do it. A lot of people, another thing that this is kind of a good point is if they are connected and I change one little run, it could affect everything that's connected with it. So let me do this for example. So right here we've got